My chores feel so insignificant at the moment. I literally just have to let the chickens out. I need to go and check up on everybody, but that's about it. As far as things that need to get done each day, there's not a lot to do. So I'm taking over some water for the sheep this morning. It's been pretty hot the last few days, so they're definitely going to need it. Sheep, sheep. I believe today we're also going to do a really big sheep move. Next week is Christmas week and we're heading down to Victoria to spend time with our family. But when you have a homestead, then making sure the animals are cared for is a top priority, and we actually have one of Sam's co-workers coming down to farm sit for us. The dogs will have a different plan, which is good, but as far as the sheep go, right now they're pretty far away from the rest of the property. We'd rather make it as easy as possible so that in future, if we ever need her help again, she's not going to be like, no thank you. Hi sheep sheep! You guys are so cute! Darling, turn the fence off. Sheep, sheep. Fresh water. Wow, you guys need a lot more water than that, don't you? As far as sheep moves go, Sam sets up the fence and moves the sheep onto the new pasture, and I try to help out by taking down the old fence. That way he doesn't have to go round and round and round and round twice. It means that we're kind of sharing the job around and it's not so brutal. Because having to set up the fence, the one downside of the system is that you do have to go round and round to set it up. You can't just set up 4 poles at the same time or 4 strands at the same time.
So we've decided to test fate, and the next paddock the sheep are going to is the original paddock that we put them in when we first got them. It's got the most grass, but the highest chance of them escaping.
In fact, they've already escaped this paddock, this very same paddock, the first time we put them in there.
Wish us luck.
To make things a little bit easier when you look after the pets and the animals. So let's go. So at the front of the house, the buckets are good for taking water over to the sheep. There's some hay here if you need it for the chickens, but I feel like for the next week they'll be fine. Food for the chickens is here, and there's a bucket in there to feed them with, and spare food down there. We have tried to make sure everything's already organized for you, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you won't really have to do much for the next week except make sure that everyone's okay, letting the chickens out daily and locking them up at the end of the night, making sure their food's coming out, which because of the weather, it does kind of tend to get stuck in there. So I've put a bucket there so that you can fill that if you like. Their water can be a bit annoying, but you tip it over, fill it up, and then hang it back up so that way it doesn't leak everywhere. And the hose is just down there to fill things up with. As far as the gardens, it's supposed to rain for the next week, so you shouldn't have to water them or really worry about them. Just make sure that the chickens stay out. And then to get to the sheep, you walk down the driveway towards the red shipping container. At this point, you'll be able to see them up at the top of the hill, but keep walking down past the pen. And if you come up the road a bit, over here where the fence ends is where you can enter. Come around, go up, and don't forget to turn the fence off, which is up at the top. Electric fence turns off over there. We keep it on 1 overnight and then 0 when clearly you're going in there. Yeah. And I highly recommend, if you do get a moment, is to go on a bit of a walk through the forest. If you follow the track, you'll be able to get back, and it's kind of like a loop. So you go around, you can either come out the other side or you can come back up. Good morning and Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you have had an amazing time with family and friends and enjoying the festive season. It has been absolutely busy around here. We just came back from Victoria. We've been there visiting family for the last week, and then for the next 2 weeks we've got family coming over here and visiting us. But rooster right on cue. I'm super excited to show you the garden at the moment. It's so green, it's so lush, and things are growing so well. So let's take a little tour. Let's take a little tour and see how things are going. Clearly I'm not going to talk because he's just going to interrupt me. Guys, Masha wasn't in the coop this morning and I was so worried. And she's just freaking walked over like, hey, what's up? Where's everybody been? What the heck? I'm just glad you're okay, Masha. I'm just glad you're okay, darling. Yeah.